What is going on, guys? Brandon over here at Geek Talk. We are back with another video. This time we will be discussing Rippaverse. Yes, I already got issue number 1 for Alphacore yesterday, and yes, I have already read it. But don't worry, there's not going to be any spoilers in this video. This is really my early thoughts, my early reaction. I got to read it a few more times to really be able to dive into it. But before we get started with Alphacore, I just want to talk about my experience with comics, which is really zero. I've never been a comic book reader. I don't consider myself a comic book reader. I've always found Marvel to be just a huge beast, and it's so hard to tackle. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to get into. I don't know what strip to read or series to read, whatever you guys call it. I don't know what character to follow. I'm one of those guys that got into Marvel and superheroes with the MCU, man. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I find my information from YouTube, from podcasts, maybe Reddit here and there, and that's about the extent of it. I don't have a lot of knowledge involving it, which is a bummer. It really is a bummer, man, because I do love reading. I love graphic novels. I love books. And I've always wanted to get into comics, but like I said, Marvel is just a different beast, and it's been around for years and decades. And I mean, I have no excuse. It's just, it's intimidating, and I just don't know where to start. I got nobody to ask, hey, what comic book to read? Nobody, man. So that's where I'm at, and that's why I have just been so appreciative of ISOM. That's why it's been really so big for me, because I have wanted to get into comics, and this is my chance. This is my opportunity to start fresh. It is a new start. It is somewhere where people like me, you, maybe people later down the road, when they hear about it, they can just pick it up and they won't be confused. They could start with Alphacore. They can start with ISOM and pick it up. And I believe Eric July has stated that the Rippaverse isn't going to have any like crazy multiversal stories, and so it's never going to be, to my understanding, too difficult of a thing to get started with. And I just appreciate that, because I think that's what keeps a lot of people away from comics, because they just don't know what to read. Nobody wants to start out with a book about fucking Ghost Rider taking down some random Joe Schmo in some random Joe Schmo city that has nothing to do with the grand scheme of things. And I know this, for a lot of comic book readers, the Rippaverse has been just massive for them, because I kind of narrow it down to, it's in the same state as current day cinema, Hollywood. A lot of identity politics, a lot of agenda pushing, and people just are turned off by it. They're not interested in it, and they love comics. They love these movies. They grew up reading these guys. They grew up learning about them and just idolizing them. And the current state of comics right now is just shit, to my understanding. It's just in a bad spot. And Eric July took the creative initiative to do his own thing, to be brave and step out and create his own thing. And man, that's the Rippaverse. That's ISOM. That's Alphacore. And I mean, I'm glad. I don't know what to say, man. It's badass. It's really badass what he's doing, and I know there's a lot of people out there that appreciate it, and I'm one of them, man. Maybe for different reasons, maybe just for being excited to actually get into comics. And I love, like, it's a quick read, man. I can read this thing 7 times in a week, each day a week, and it's an easy read. It's a fun read. It's an exciting read, and dude, Alphacore, I was really hesitant about it, dude. I don't know authors, I don't know writers, I don't know artists in the comic book industry, and this was the first branch. Oh, excuse me, sorry, my phone just went off. This was the first time they've branched away from ISOM, and I don't know who Chuck Dixon is. I don't know who a Joe Bennett is. So I was really standoffish maybe about spending too much money on something that I wasn't going to be really invested in or really enjoy. And to be honest with you, this might be my favorite book so far. I really enjoyed ISOM. Number 1. Number 2 was kind of so for me. It seemed really fast, and when it ended, I was like, that's it. And it wasn't along the lines of like a cliffhanger. It was just like, the fuck, that's it. Not to say I didn't like the book. It just didn't hit the same as number 1. But Alphacore, dude, I feel like these characters are extremely likable. I mean, we got Brian right here, Soler. Now, if I pronounce the names incorrectly, I apologize, I shouldn't, but his last name is Solari. I'm not sure. You got, oh gosh, Ingrid Valdez. She was, I'm pointing at her right. Okay, dude, she was spicy. She had attitude. She was everything I love about superhero characters. She just hit different, dude. She was the standout in my opinion. She was the best character. And then you got, oh gosh, Braxwell. Braxwell, this guy right here. He's kind of like silent. I don't know if he doesn't talk. He's just silent but deadly doing his thing, man. But he's a straight killer. He's badass. Brian is more of, I took it as, and like I said, I've only read this once. Brian is more of just, I don't want to say arrogant, but definitely has a persona about him. Definitely has a character around him. And yeah, dude, I just found this team up of this trio. They were fun. They were fun to follow. The villains in this, we got introduced to quite a bit of villains. Now I can't act like I know their names yet. I gotta reread it. I know we got Billy Bob or something like that, and then we had oh gosh, Galvin, or no, oh gosh, I'm having a brain fart. Where's he at? Let me find him real quick. Yeah, Galvin. Goodness gracious, I need to act like I know what I'm talking about. Galvin was fun. There's two villains in here that are kind of the overarching villains of the whole thing, and they were intriguing. But this was more like, I don't want to call it a detective story, but it was definitely, the Alphacore works along the police. In this, it's kind of a different take on superheroes. They're not your masked vigilantes kind of thing. It was just different spin. And I really enjoyed it, dude. I really, really enjoyed these characters. And I'm bummed that I didn't get a signed edition. I'm bummed I didn't spend a little more money and get maybe the gosh, I'm having a hard, what do they call that? What do they call these? Hold on. They're called graded. I got ISOM number 2 graded, man. And I fuck this cover is absolutely killer, man. I love it, dude. Love everything about this cover. This is a kick-ass cover. I wish I would have done this for Alphacore. I really do. I'm bummed. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry, I don't mean to talk away from the mic, but I'm just bummed that I didn't, that I wasn't as excited, man. That I really, I don't even know the word for it. That I guess I didn't really give it a chance. I mean, I gave it a chance because I bought the book, but I didn't give it the chance it deserved, because this might be my favorite book so far out of the 3, and I'm definitely going to be buying number 2. I want to see more of Ingrid. I don't know if we can get a standalone book by her, Eric or Chuck, but Ingrid is, dude, I know people are all hyped out in Yara. I don't know what kind of the information the cards he gives out or gives and all that, but I know people are all jazzed up about Yara. But Ingrid is bad, dude. I just really enjoyed her character. I enjoyed the spice. Her little duo with it's not really spoiled. Wilkins was a lot of fun to read in this. I just really enjoyed it, man. Really, really enjoyed this book. I'll definitely be buying number 2. And before I end this, I know this is a big thing in comics, and I completely understand it, and I don't want to show anything in this book. But Joe Bennett's artwork, phenomenal, dude. This might be, in my opinion, the prettiest book. It is absolutely gorgeous. The colors, I mean, I'm just looking at the first page, and I read it in a little dark, and now I got my lights from my lights. It just makes the color pops. I mean, the opening pages right here got a hostage situation, and I mean, the colors just pop. The reds, the blues, the whites, dude, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I don't know how Eric feels about it. I'll have to watch some reviews and see what people do. I don't know if I can show you guys the artwork, but my lord, dude, my lord. It just, I might be rambling now, dude, but gosh. Oh, dude, I love it, man. I'm just, yeah, fucking Billy Bob. Fucking Billy Bob. Such a, read the book. Get Alphacore issue number 1, dude. Awesome. I'm excited for the next entry. I'm not sure. I think it's not introducing, but the book, I believe, is about, gosh, what is it? They were introduced in ISIM number 2. I can't remember the name on the top of my head. I think that's the next book coming out in the Rippaverse. I'll have to look into it and keep you guys posted. Maybe put it in the comics. But yeah, dude. Alphacore. Love that I got this copy. I love that Ingrid is up in front and center, dude. She stole the show for me. Everybody, I feel like Braxwell. I don't want to keep rambling, but I just feel like Braxwell was just like your silent killer. And he kind of got put on the back burner a little bit, and that kind of bummed me out just a little bit. Like, he's in the book for sure. He's a part of the Alphacore. He's in it, but I definitely want to see, God, it's hard to point backwards. I want to see more of Braxwell. Ingrid, not to say I didn't like Brian. It's just, he was my least favorite. He was my least favorite. I enjoyed him. He had a different kind of persona about him, but Braxwell and Ingrid, man. Ingrid stole the show, dude. Stole the show. But yeah, that's it. Early thoughts on Alphacore. I really enjoyed it. Liked the characters. The artwork was fucking fabulous, dude. It's really, really pretty. Really, really pretty. Joe Bennett, Chuck Dixon, great job. Like I said, I don't know much about writers and artists in the comic book industry, but these guys absolutely killed it, dude. Killed it, killed it, killed it, man. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. Comment. Let me know your thoughts on Alphacore issue number 1 if you've read it. And if you're interested in future content, please subscribe. Deuces.